Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hope you're all having a great day. Well, with the onset of current events involving the royal family, Harry's reputation just is sinking faster than you can imagine. We have the Princess of Wales. This is now 2 days after her abdominal surgery, recovering in hospital for up to 2 weeks. And then after that, she'll be recovering at home. We won't see her till at least Easter. 8-10 weeks from now. That's quite a while. It was obviously very serious surgery, although we're not speculating as to what it could be. Thoughts do wander. They did say that it was not cancer. So there's that. They've been kind of forthright in their messaging. And of course, so she's going to be out of commission. William says he's going to stay by her side while she recovers and be there for the children. And so he's canceled a lot of his engagements up till that period of time as well. And you kind of wonder about it because they say, oh, it was planned surgery. Well, it could have been planned a week ago when they got the diagnosis for something. It's not, they're saying it's elective, trying to downplay it a bit. But here's the thing. We do know that the Royals' diary is planned like a year in advance. They're talking about, having things canceled, such as trips to Italy, trips here and there. So there was already, they already had planned some overseas trips for 2024. Were in the works that they had to cancel. So this was not elective in the sense of, she just chose to get around to, getting something done. No. It was elective as in, here's your choice of what we can do. And so she chose the surgery, and apparently, you don't cancel months of a diary. You wouldn't have made those plans for early 2024 had she elected to have surgery at this time. That period of time then would have been kept open for her recovery. See what I'm saying? So this wasn't quite as a planned thing as one would be led to believe. Not if they got to cancel a quarter of a year of diary engagements because of this. Those plans would never have been in place in the first place if this surgery and recovery time had been considered at the time. So, how much of that is, it's obviously something quite serious that happened, is all I'm saying. So she's out of commission, and William's going to be by her side and with the children, so he's not going to be seen. He's canceled his engagements as well. And we know now that the king has been apparently just last week diagnosed with an enlarged prostate. He's going to undergo treatment. It is invasive surgery. He is an older man. There will be anesthetic. And of course, they keep telling us, Kate and the king as well, of course, have the best medical care out there, and we would expect nothing less for our royals. Well, at the same time, 20 minutes later in the same news broadcast, you can hear horror stories about dysfunction in the NHS. I'm in Canada, and I'll tell you, our healthcare service isn't much better. It's really gone to rot and has serious problems. But you see, the royals, well, they're getting the best care available. You know, it bothers me a little bit because, you've got these news presenters saying, oh, well, this was calculated by the king to be like a public service announcement. Go get yourself checked, get this, and then you can get this treatment. Well, here's the thing. He's got private doctors, private clinics, as they tout the best healthcare in the world. Best healthcare money can buy. The average person living in Britain that has an issue has to go to the NHS first, tries to get a test, then get treatment in a matter of days. It's a joke. I mean, months maybe, couple of years, people are waiting for procedures. It's the same here in Canada. So on one hand, you can look at that and say, wow, whatever ails you, they're not like us. They're not like us. So there's that. I mean, it really puts the distance between us and them, doesn't it? And then you've got Harry, who's very much one of them, even though he's stepped away from the royal family. He's still very much a part of it. I believe in some way or another he's still being funded and protected by the royal family, the British government, and the security services. But he doesn't, other than collecting bogus awards like this Legends of Aviation, he was never a pilot. He was like a backseat gunner, never did get his pilot's wings or whatever it's called. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. But he's a royal fraud. So, he's... All of these awards that him and Meghan have got is just, mutual admiration society, rich people patting each other on the back and giving each other awards that mean nothing at all. That's his life now. And from the look of the latest pictures of him, he's emulating Meghan, her little trots around parking lots and, all the time. And the one good thing about being shot in a parking lot, there's room for the photographer that you've hired to move around to make it look like a candid shot. There's not going to be a whole lot of people in the shot that you're going to have to try to Photoshop out or whatever, And look, here's Harry. Here's a picture of Harry jogging. Well, look at where he's either jogging in a parking lot or in the middle of a busy street with cars parked along the edges. You don't jog in the middle of the street. Unless perhaps you have security and photographers that are blocking the road so that you can do a little jog. Either that or it's just a stupid photo op in a parking lot that we've seen Meghan do multiple times. And I did look up. I mean, I think it was Robert Jobson printed the picture in an article he did for the Daily Mail Online, either this morning or yesterday, published January 18th. So this morning, in Britain. And he's talking about Harry and how disappointed he is of him and so on. And he's printed the picture of Harry in the parking lot in shorts, a puffy jacket, and a hat. Now, He's in shorts. He's apparently jogging in the parking lot or on the pavement in the middle of a road. Neither places you would jog. But that notwithstanding, dressed oddly, as we often see Megan dressed oddly in her parking lot photos. I checked the weather in Montecito on those days through AccuWeather Online, and this picture was taken within 2 days ago, sometime between the 16th and the 18th, apparently. 16th, 17th. So I checked the weather. On the 16th in Montecito, it was 14 degrees Celsius, which is 57 degrees Fahrenheit. And especially if you're jogging, you don't need a puffer jacket and you don't need a hat in 57 degree when you're sweating, expending energy. The following day, it was even better. It was 17 degrees Celsius in Montecito. That is 62.6 degrees Fahrenheit. You don't wear a hat. You don't wear a puffer jacket when you're jogging. Whether you're jogging in the middle of a road or a parking lot, you don't wear a hat and a puffer jacket when it's 62 degrees outside. So the whole thing is fake. The whole thing is fake. It's what they do. Harry's been reduced to just trying to perpetrate an image and put it out there, but neither one of them is good at that. And let's just see what Robert Jobson has to say. I'll just scan through the article quickly. He just kind of says, now, what exactly is this once hard-working royal doing now? And that's not entirely clear, quoting from the article now, except to say that now, just when his father, the king, needs him, he's gone AWOL. Worst, he's burnt most of his bridges by attacking his family in books and films. His brother William could really do with some backup right now, as he has to care for his young family as his wife, Kate, recuperates from major surgery. Harry's self-imposed royal exile and Andrew's enforced exile followed the Epstein scandal has exposed the flaws in our constitutional system, Robert Jobson writes. We obviously wish His Majesty the King and the Princess of Wales well. And what he's going to get to in the rest of the article is what I talked about yesterday. This puts things in a very tricky situation. If you have a king incapacitated, that's one thing. You need your counselors of state around you. We know that Anne and Edward have been recently added to the list of counselors of state. William, as heir, is kind of the number one counselor of state. Now, Anne, who everybody respects Anne for her hard work and her dedication to the monarchy and to her late mother, they expect a lot out of Anne, but don't forget, she's in her 70s too. She's no spring chicken. How long is she going to be able to carry the load for the family? I mean, they say she's the hardest working royal. So the royal family is kind of in jeopardy right now. The king undergoing this procedure, yeah, he's got the best doctors ever. It's not an uncommon procedure, from what I understand. It's standard, but it is invasive. It is invasive surgery. I believe most likely he will be under anesthesia, which in an older individual still poses a risk. So, I mean, of course, we hope everything's going to be fine. But it just brings to bear all these things that we've been talking about all the time, that these are things that really should be taken care of. Andrew and Harry have to be taken off that list. Harry's got to be taken out of the line of succession. Who knows what, we can't imagine what could happen, but God forbid, as Megan has said, we're only one, what did she say? We're only one plane, allegedly say we're only one plane crash away from the crown. Can you imagine? But to quell everybody's fears, just to be realistic, if anything did happen where George would acquire the crown while he was still a minor, a regent would be appointed, and that regent would be Prince Edward, the king's brother. People would say the regent should be Anne because she's the most mature, she's the most knowledgeable, she's the one that, we trust. But even with the changes in the laws of primogeniture that the Queen changed in 2012, so that now Charlotte has as much chance of ascending the throne as her brother, what's the little guy's name? And Louis, because of that, women take their rightful place, females take their rightful place in the line of succession by age. It's not determined by sex. However, the Queen did not make this law retroactive, so Anne still is at the bottom of the heap as far as seniority and ascension to the throne goes. Should anything happen to William and the family, if the Queen had made it retroactive, then after Charles it would be Anne. I think. But yeah, it's not retroactive. So she as a counselor of state and an elder royal, she would be a great source of strength to a regent such as Edward. But that's all speculation. Just to quell anybody's fears. No, Harry, now if something happened, no. Now if the whole family was wiped out, would Harry be the next? And he might be. There you go. But, so they really, this, with two senior royals sick, recovering from procedures, whatever, out of commission for long periods of time, 3 months, that's a long period of time. These questions, such as the Counselor of State, sorting out the line of succession, cleaning that mess up, these, in light of current events, have to be the priorities. Harry's got to be wiped off the slate. Harry, Meghan, and the kids that don't exist have to be wiped off the website and taken out of the line of succession, so we can all just say to Harry, jog on. Have a good day, everybody.